So, of course, I'm joined as usual by Dave and George. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello there.
A full house, look at this!
It is, and someone who knows how to do the intro and outro. What is this, Charles?
I can do the intro, I can't do the outro.
And neither can I. Failed terribly at trying, though. That was really good.
I did notice, so unfortunately, I apologise for my absence from our very first list video. If you haven't seen that, please go back and watch it. It was a genuinely fantastic show. But
we got to
Disney knocked on my door this morning. They said, "You're hired. Come with me."
Oh dear. No, it's a cracking show. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the country for that. I'll be back here for our next one.
Just before we get started,
yeah.
Just popped up in the comments, John Parton, looking forward to a great show, guys. Hopefully we are too, so we'll see how it goes. Who knows? We do try our best.
We do try, we'll have to see. We might as well crack it. We do have quite a lot to talk about this evening. So it wasn't a huge amount of news released, but at the same time, what has been released is so juicy, we really should just kind of crack on through it. Do we want to just roll it and then talk about our first bit of news?
So yeah, okay, what we had the episode 9 trailer, well, like a sizzle reel sort of thing released at D23. You've probably seen a lot of it already. All we're going to roll now is just the back end, the new part really that we're looking at. So we shall get on with that. I'll just roll that in a sec.
Oh. In the meantime, while that is loading, there we go.
Oh, here we go. Now, of course, for those of you who are listening back to this show on either Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, or on Spotify, you cannot see what we're playing, but we are playing for 1 minute 13 in the new sizzle reel. So, of course, we have all of this fantastic new footage, including so at the moment it's Rey and Kylo fighting on what looks to be a sunken Death Star, the new Palpatine voids, and then, of course, we have what is the most juicy part of all, Rey with what appears to be a lovely, awesome double-ended lightsaber. And that is the end of the trailer. So, of course, for those of you who have just been listening to the audio, I'll let you just catch up for the next few seconds. But yes, so guys, let's just jump into it.
D23. That was the sizzle reel. That was the new footage from episode 9. And to come to the side of it, I know we're going to discuss all of it. We also got a new poster too, which we will shortly talk about. But I don't really know where to begin with this footage. I mean, we knew it was going to get released on Monday. D23 is the only event where security actually makes sure you don't pirate the footage. For those that don't know how D23 works, you go into the hall, security take your phone, they turn your phone off, they give you an envelope, they put the phone in the envelope, they seal the envelope. And you sit down with your envelope on your lap. If you want to get your phone out, you're going to have to open it, have it tear open, so people will hear it, people will see it. You will then have to turn your phone on, so which people will also see it, the screen, the brightness, whatever. Then you're going to have to record it. There is no way you can just slyly do it.
You say this, however, there was another piece of footage that was released.
That wasn't a strict panel though. People allowed their phones out.
Okay.
But they were really insecure. I mean, that was just Star Wars. We're talking about nothing's leaked from Black Widow, nothing leaked from Frozen 2. Who cares? We know nothing leaked from Jungle Cruise. Nothing's leaked from any of the other ones, and that is a very, very big thing for this one. And they did well. And releasing it on Monday is the smart thing to do. They released a statement saying, you know, there's a vision of Rey. Like, everyone knew what's happening. People just waited, and they delivered. So thank God for that.
I do apologise for that. Was when I tried to play that. Sorry, don't believe you had the audio of that when it played, and that's my fault on StreamYard. But yes, I believe Phil talked through what we were saying, and what we're going to do anyway is go through the pictures that we got from this to have a look through it. Everything that kind of was new that we got to see. So do apologise for that, guys.
Indeed. So should we bring up the first image and go through?
Yeah. So the first image is this one here, and it's the first one we see from the trailer, and we get obviously our first look at our hero shot.
Indeed. I was actually having a discussion with a friend of mine yesterday and realised that this will actually be Rey's first interaction with C-3PO. In a very weird way, she hasn't spoken to 3PO in 7 or 8.
What you mean in this shot or film? Because I was saying this shot she's probably met him by now.
In the film.
Yes, maybe. I mean, in episode 8, it was apparently her first interaction with Poe, even though they were at the Rebel base together at the end of episode 7. But hey ho, who am I to judge that one? I'm looking at this and say I see C-3PO. That's fine. We're gonna obviously talk about a bit more, but I don't see R2-D2. But then we also don't see BB-8 or Dio. So hopefully they're at the below their legs. We know that Archie's had a pretty rough deal for the last couple of films, so it'll be interesting to see what comes next. But seeing the trio together is something I'm looking forward to, because they know we haven't had that, and they've emphasised that that's one of the things they wanted to address.
Definitely, and that's one thing that's written, but I really love our first group hero shot here. 3PO, George and I were trying to decide if we could see if he had red eyes at this point or not, but we'll get into that in the next shot. And this shot, it just kind of leads straight into the next one, which is just, I'm guessing, kind of kept following straight on, really, into this one of some party they've turned up to.
Indeed, it does look like imagine Burning Man. For those of you on the audio version, imagine Burning Man meets Star Wars. This is what this looks like.
It's like Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah. That's if you put the two together, a load more people than Mad Max, but that same desolate sort of desert setting. But a huge gathering of party and big dust fireworks and things going off. So it's kind of hard to place it in where it might be in the movie. But from the fact they're all together, you would think early on, but the fact there seems to be some kind of celebration going on, I find it a really tricky one to place.
I can't make heads or tails of it. It's very weird. We know it's going to play some sort of role, but we don't know what yet. Because for the first trailer, you do have them being chased in a speeder with the rocket troopers, which is connected to this somehow, but we don't know how.
I mean, we also know that this is the planet. Not only is there the chase, you've got the TIE coming down on Rey. We know that's going to happen. I mean, it could just be any valley in this city, but that looks particularly like if that was empty, it could look like that scene. But it's going to be interesting to see how this one comes out. I'm intrigued by seeing this tribe. I can't wait to see the sort of the makeup, the creature effects, all of that. It's going to be very exciting, but it's nice seeing them as a big group doing things. And to be fair to C-3PO, he also has had a lot to do, in all honesty, this sort of trilogy. So if he's coming out with the main gang again, I've got sort of vibes of Empire there.
Yeah, it's nice because he was bullied throughout The Last Jedi, and then he really I can't remember what he did. Oh, Force Awakens, he was really just very much a background character.
The Red Arm,
yeah, and the Resistance base, Red Arm, yes, that meme forever. We'll move on from that and to an absolutely gorgeous shot of Carrie Fisher reprising her role as Princess Leia posthumously. But what do you guys think of this shot?
Sorry, is this the shot that John Williams is recording the soundtrack to? Because when they released that about a month ago, there was him in the studios with the orchestra.
I think it might be this one, yes.
I think I can't wait. I feel this is going to be the opening third of the film, the opening act. But it's going to be nice to see her on the screen. I know it's obviously been almost 3 years now, but the fact that we're going to get to see her in her final performance is going to be quite touching, I think, and I definitely trust JJ and how Lucasfilm handled it.
Yeah, I agree with you there, George. It's very interesting to see where it will take place in the film, but I do think most of her scenes will probably be in the first act. How she goes forward and how they handle the conclusion will be the interesting part for me.
And I do love that. Obviously, I don't know exactly how they said it. I mean, they've already said how they're going to plot around basically her dialogue from the scenes that were cut, and they built scenes around that, so her dialogue fitted perfectly from what she's already recorded. But obviously, this outfit we're seeing, which is the purple shirt with the high neck grey sort of waistcoat on there, she obviously didn't see her in that in Force Awakens. So are we talking here? Is it body replacement, or is this CG?
I think it's a body double on set, probably for not point of awareness, but they probably got a young actress or someone that doubled her, got her in a costume, got her on set, had her not read the lines but say the lines, have the actors act around her. And I think that, I don't want to say it's CGI because it's not, but I think they probably just spliced the frames together for this. If you've seen, I know it's obviously like very early days, Captain America 1, when it's skinny Steve Rogers, they did something similar. They had
to one side,
they had a body double and they put Chris Evans' face onto that. It's a bit harder when you've got, like a 5'2" person being, replaced by an absolute unit. Whereas obviously here, I think is probably something similar to that. And I think they probably knew leading into every line and what shot they wanted to use her for as well. But you wouldn't be able to tell looking at this. You'd think it's the new costume.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question looking at that's one image. And I think if it's not, all the better for it if that's being created. And obviously the scenery behind it, but that's obviously probably going to be created. I would have thought everything behind her is going to be computer generated for wherever they are. But I just think it's an absolutely incredible looking shot, and it's really touching to see her again, Princess Leia, in this trailer.
Indeed, it'd be interesting. So for me, it's interesting to see where it's placed and how they're going to handle her, if they will handle her death, and if so, how they do it, and where it will end up, and how they handle the conclusions. And lots of it does give more questions than answers, but at the same time, I'm just so glad they went ahead and done what they've done to include her in the film.
Speaking of more questions than answers, let's move on to our next shot, and we start to see some ships appearing in the sky. Now, seeing more questions than answers, we are looking at X-Wings, yes, but we also have
B-Wings, Y-Wings, A-Wings, a blockade runner, and a mystery freighter of some sort.
Yes, so we're looking at classic original trilogy ships coming back here. And to be honest, while we're looking at that, and we might as well go to the next shot as well, because it's part of the bigger mystery of all these ships reappearing. Imperial-class Star Destroyers, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, this
not
just...
one. Not
one.
Not 50.
Just hundreds of... I mean, that shot there for me is just this... It's a mystery, of course, as to what it is, where it is. I mean, it's could be the Katana fleet that Grand Admiral Thrawn sent into the unknown regions. It could be... I mean, who knows? You can only see a couple of lights on as well, so it's not like there's going to be many, if any, crew there at all. It just really depends on... I mean, are the Resistance going to get their hands on a bunch of Star Destroyers? I mean, who knows? But whatever it is, just get to be so excited.
I can't wait. I think it's by far the most interesting, not shot of it, because it raises... I mean, every shot in a Star Wars show is going to raise questions, but when you bring in something from the Empire, I mean, we know the Empire's going to be in it, but bringing back something, not someone, from the Empire era suddenly makes it far more interesting. And the way that JJ's done it too, the fact that you get the kind of flashes of lightning. I mean, I didn't clock on that these were... I don't think anyone clocked on that these weren't First Order until they saw it the second time, or they saw it still, because it's such a brief glimpse moment. And going back to the Rebels kind of hyperspace, we haven't seen that enough in the new Disney films, which I can't wait to see. Is there going to be a space battle? I think so. We can't really talk about the leaked Lego sets, but there are signs pointing towards that. Obviously, when they are formally unveiled, we'll be able to see what we can do about that one. But in the meantime, this is something that I'm really looking forward to finding out. Again, this film's kind of raising as much questions as it is hype and speculation.
It's with so many Star Destroyers as well being parked in sort of one place in massive rows, like almost like they've been just set aside. Like you see those plane graveyards that people have in the desert with just planes lined up one after the other. Like a load of ships just got placed there and put to one side, and seeing what's going to go on with those is absolutely incredible. And on some of the Star Destroyers, they're not quite... You can't quite see it, obviously, in the pictures we've got. If you do get the pictures up here, they do have very slight red on the edges of these. So we need to see kind of what's going on with them. But moving on from that, we kind of get a similar shot. We've got all this blue over the Star Destroyer shots to this next one of Finn in an unknown ship, which I'm guessing is one in the Corvette of Rebel ships that we've had.
I mean, have we ever seen? Oh no, I was thinking, have we seen a Corvette in the pilot ship? But we have. But it's interesting because I was, again, first immediate moment. Oh, it's the Falcon. Actually, it's really not. The second you look at it, it's too small. There's another person in the corner. Is it Nien Nunb? I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see the pilot in the background, but there's definitely someone in an outfit. It looks like an orange jumpsuit with white gloves. Again, in the background. So we're looking again. It's this callback to classic imagery of what we're seeing, it all harkens back to Return of the Jedi and Empire and A New Hope. I can't quite see what's out.
See what ship that is, because it doesn't look like the Falcon.
Well, definitely not the Falcon, no.
But it may be that mystery ship we see in the corner there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sort of the convoy of ships.
I mean, there's a B-wing. There's a B-wing at the side of it.
Oh, of course, it's in the back of that window. I couldn't figure that out. Thank you. But yeah, if you look in the back of the shot, if you are looking at these at a later date, or if you're watching this live, in the very back, you can see. Yeah, you're right. Just like a B-wing out of the window there. So I think they may be part of this big convoy that shows up. But in that blue, in the way it's in the background, looks like they're either into this sea of Star Destroyers or something else is going. You're right. This trailer has given me more questions and more puzzlement in my head than I've had anything running up the Star Wars movie. And then we get an awesome shot after that.
This one's the interesting one.
And we have C-3PO, but instead of his lovely yellow eyes,
you might not recognize him because of the red eyes.
Yeah, his badass red glowing eyes. He's set to instant kill mode.
Well, it reminds me of 000. From
a lot of people have said, online, yeah.
I think because there's a they're very popular amongst the audience that read the comics. I thought that. I was like, well, yeah, we know they're popular, but just C-3PO needs to be changed. And then you kind of think, well, Attack of the Clones, he had the.
I'm so beside myself. Yes.
So you kind of think, are they trying to do something fun? Is this going to be a comedy moment again? Go back to the Go back to the leaks poster from before Celebration, and he's got the bandolier and bowcaster. This is everyone saying he's insta kill 3PO. I mean, it looks like he's back on top. I mean, for all we know, he's returned to his creator. But I'm very intrigued to see what's gone on, because I'm hoping if he's been rewired or something, there's something more to it. I hope it's not just for the sake of anything else, but I'm really excited to see what they do.
I can't see that I just can't feel that it'd be played for comedy the way they've got him set, and whether that is just a setting inside 3PO that he's always had. He's had this battle mode that they've never found out. Maybe it got programmed on when he got the battle droid body on him. It's always been there, and now he's going to play that. But it's I am wondering if it's some sort of either malware, or if it's some sort of he's been possessed by some sort of rogue programming or something. It's got to be something. You see, he could be plugged into something. You see something glowing behind him. I don't quite think it's him. I think it's something. I think it's something completely different. It is cool. It's a great shot, and it's invoked so much sort of talk over the internet of what this could be. It's a really good talking piece. Our next two shots that we get are kind of Rey in training by the looks of it, because we get her throwing a lightsaber through a tree. And in the background of that shot, there is a tiny little training remote in there as well. And there's another cut down tree. Yes, there's one just behind that fight. In the background, yeah. She's come to Endor to devastate their forests. She's really gone to the dark. The tree that it's about to go through, there's actually an Ewok pinned to the other side we just can't see right now. Wicked's treehouse is directly above it. Just plows right through it. There's Warwick Davis cameo. It's Wicked's treehouse. You just hear this little splash noise, and there's the saga really has come to an end. And these legs just drop to the ground. Oh bless. Oh, and then we get this awesome shot of her catching the lightsaber that she's just thrown. Well, she's got a staff in her other hand, and then she just fires back into her. But again, this is if we think she's going to Death Star 2, which is the most likely outcome for her, then we know where that blew up. It blew up above Endor, so it makes sense to me that that is exactly where we are going back to at the scene. Well, to be more precise, the forest movement. Yeah, literally go back to there. So I can't see it being anywhere else, in all honesty. I think that's exactly where that is. Whether we do see our furry little friends again is nothing altogether, if they've been wiped out from the radiation of a falling Death Star over them. Just carcasses of bears everywhere. So yeah, we'll move on from that to our next shot, which I didn't quite catch very well, but it's just Kylo Ren walking away from his TIE Interceptor. TIE van. It's a TIE Silencer / Interceptor. It's kind of his... It's the Krenmobile. It's his credit, yeah. The Kyle
The
Mobile.
Kren, forget the ick. This is Kylo Ren's mobile, the Kren
Just
mobile.
Kren.
There
Kren
we
to his
go.
friends.
Problem solved. That swag, that walk. Now, here's what's more interesting. I've seen something online. Look at any scene of him in episode 7 or 8. When he's walking with pace, he always has his fists clenched. Now, this is really grasping at straws, but thank you, Twitter. This couple of seconds, he's walking with his hands out, chilled out, like he's actually pretty calm for once. Like, is there something else going on? Because normally he's like a man on a mission, 100 miles an hour walk. This, he is ready. He's got that lightsaber ready. He is ready to bloody kill. In any promotional shot we've seen of him so far in this film, he has stolen every moment.
It's this shot as well. I mean, the surface that he's on is this cracked, broken ground. It looks a lot like the ship when it flies over Rey at the first trailer and she jumps over it.
Yeah, it's very much
like the ground there, but at night.
Could
So
be.
whether she really messes up that ship and he's crashed and out for a bit.
No, that looks landed. That looks more precise. That's
Yeah, that
crashed.
definitely looks landed.
That is a precise landing.
Maybe to you guys. Yeah, no.
Another happy landing.
Nice. So we're getting Kylo and on his way to fight something or, cut something down. And that kind of takes us into we're really in the last couple of shots of the trailer. And the first one being this piece of gloriousness here. That is Kylo Ren and Rey fighting aboard what we are figuring is probably, there's people posting pictures everywhere online of where they think it could be, but we're all pointing to the same direction, is somewhere on the crashed Death Star 2.
Well, you do have a twin-laser turret on the left-hand side there. It's kind of...
So we're saying
kind of
furthest trench area. I heard someone say the trench of the Death Star 2, which we didn't really see there, but the waves crashing around it is absolutely incredible.
Hear me out. This is 99.9% probably the final duel, right?
I would have thought until maybe
until this. What?
Yeah.
JJ likes to throw everybody off.
Imagine
this is like halfway through the film. Imagine all the
Avengers style first 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly like, if the Emperor's going to come back, which I mean, again, we don't know anything as to how or why. But I mean, this is probably the end. I hope it is in. But part of me just did think, like, what if they throw us off, and this could be like halfway through the film, setting up for a far more intimate confrontation at the end.
It's a lovely theory, actually, that it would be. Now, JJ has thrown us up. I mean, the marketing for the whole of Force Awakens was Finn with lightsaber, literally played that he was going to be the new Jedi. There was no hiding away from that to then do it's not, it's Rey. But yeah, so they played this massively. So absolutely could be that this is going to be, you're right, midway through the movie, like a midpoint moment. This is their action beat of this final battle between those two, to then move on to wherever Mr. Palpatine happens to be. And speaking of all things dark side, I guess we really have to talk about...
Before we go on to the next image, can we talk about Palpatine's voiceover during this next bit?
If you can tell me exactly what he says, because of right now it slipped out my head.
But is that your journey is coming to an end?
It's near to its end, I think. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Star Wars Endgame done. Roll credit.
I think it's nice that we get to hear him and say brand new dialogue as well, not something from a past movie. So we're getting brand new Ian McDermott lines already, which is nice to know that he's not just a cackle somewhere or a...
Well, it's also kind of connecting the first bit of dialogue, which we have, which is the Luke voiceover of "We passed on what we know."
Yeah. No, and I just think lovely that. I mean, I didn't play that because I didn't give you any audio, but yeah. So it is really nice that we're getting Luke. Hamill's already confirmed he's coming back as a ghost. He did on Twitter with his. He did a little ghostly boo. I think it was Ghost Luke or something like that. He put on Twitter to say he was coming back one last time, and to have him and then the Emperor. It's just this harkening back to this classic saga. And I guess we're rounding out the Skywalker saga, so to finish with those two seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Shall we move on to what has been the most talked about?
Yes, we shall. So we start with Rey with two lightsabers directly in front of her face, which firstly was like, oh, what's that? It then opens up to a much bigger shot, a wide shot of Rey, but her lightsaber is not a lightsaber, it's a dual lightsaber, which then folds into a double-bladed lightsaber. Now, it's not the first time.
It's very much like a Temple Guard lightsaber.
Yeah, Temple Guard lightsaber. If you've watched Star Wars Rebels, when Kanan is being taught Jedi way, Temple Guards have a lightsaber that is exactly the same. It starts double-bladed and flicks down and is sort of a staff version. Obviously, she is much more adept at fighting with a staff as well, I would have thought, from her years on Jakku. Guys, thoughts on Dark Rey?
It's Kylo Ren's nightmare. She's wearing Leia's ring as well.
Oh, okay. I hadn't
watched it closely. She's wearing Leia's ring from. Shout out to Blue Banther podcast for tweeting that within like a minute of seeing the trailer. that is a very good spot. I think it's Kylo's nightmare vision. I think that he's probably seeing the things that are going to scare him to most: the loss of Leia and Rey falling to the dark side of the Force. Or after a confrontation midway through the film, does Rey change allegiance? Is this really the end of the film and Kylo's going to fight with Anakin's blue saber? Probably not, but wouldn't that be bloody interesting?
Or will it be like Empire Strikes Back and that'd be Rey's vision instead? Like Luke facing himself as Vader in the cave, will this be Rey facing herself, but a dark version of herself?
Oh, I like that too.
It could be anything. As someone said, oh, it's going to be her to infiltrate the Knights of Ren. I was like, that is a stupid theory. They all wear helmets.
Hang on, I'm just going to cross off my theory. She's doing the Knights of Ren infiltrating.
I can't wait for Pablo Hidalgo's new merchandise. It's like, your Rey theory sucks.
It is a... I mean, it's been this... As soon as it hit, and it was before the show really even finished being shown at D23, Dark Rey was everywhere. We didn't get a picture until we got like a fake picture that came out not long after, but then to get the real thing literally on the Monday after it was shown, it's
I must admit, I kind of wish they hadn't done anything like this in terms of not put it in any of the preview footage they showed at D23 or in this reel. I wish they'd kept this completely hidden and completely secret, just because I like...
You'd like to have that surprise when you go and you see it on the big screen. But I think maybe in the context of the movie, you might see that it's going to go there. So you might kind of get... I think they've done it for absolute shock value and to blow the internet apart, which it absolutely did. The amount of tweets in my timeline this was all it was about is quite unreal. I've not seen anything quite like it for a Star Wars movie. Certainly nothing other than that Jedi
I want
did that.
To point out, though, that we haven't talked about yet is the fact that the blade itself is very similar reacting-wise to Kylo's. It's a cracked kyber crystal. It's not actually it's either not a complete crystal or it's a damaged crystal. It's not a fully functioning crystal like you have in Anakin / Rey's blade. This is again a broken crystal, so it does lend to George's theory of it being Kylo's vision or nightmare. But it is kind of something we haven't yet, that no one's really kind of talked about much.
I think what everyone's forgotten about episode 9 is, can you tell me the plot? No, you can't. Because trailer 1 gave nothing away. It gave you the Emperor at the end. What did everybody speak about? The Emperor. This isn't really a trailer 2. This is Sizzle Reel 1. No one's talking about the plot. There's no plot to reveal. What's everyone talking about? Rey. JJ's a smart guy. We're now about to be 3 months away from a release. And I can't tell you anything plot-wise.
It really is.
Except the Emperor will be in it.
The only thing we can tell you is that the three of us will be finally reunited.
Yeah, that's all. And that's the thing. I mean, not us being reunited. Sorry, guys. JJ's marketing for any film. I know that Star Trek 2 kind of wasn't great because we all knew that Benedict Cumberbatch was playing not Spock, Khan. That's the one. That's why I kind of feel this. He's playing a very smart game. I think the next trailer will be the usual Star Wars. It's going to come out in October. The ticket's going to go on sale. We're going to get those bloody tickets, and that will be one. I think there'll be plot. I think there'll be barely any plot. It's like Endgame, right? I know this is the obvious comparison. Nothing was given away, and obviously this isn't the case for this. Everything was given away for Endgame anything shown in marketing was the first like 15 minutes, 45-minute at a push.
Yeah.
Nothing else. This to me is giving nothing away. We've got Act 1 somewhere, we've got Act 2 somewhere. I'm guessing there's probably going to be like one act on the jungle place, one act on the sand place, one act on Death Star. We could all be wrong. I mean, don't forget there's that snow planet Zori Bliss is going to be on. There's so much happening which we don't know about, and they're pulled the wool on everyone's eyes because no one's talking about the plot. They're talking about Rey and the Emperor. It's genius marketing. It's genius marketing.
It is indeed.
With that, I guess the only other thing really kind of to show from this is that we also obviously got the new teaser poster that came out. There's been some...
I like how this is put in perfectly, so it's covering me. You two are perfectly fine. I'm now like completely
Sorry,
gone.
no, I do apologise. We'd love to get your lovely face on here, but yeah, it doesn't... One of us has to be blanked out, and I don't know how to make that the main screen, so...
It's fine, it's fine. I know what I wanted.
So yeah, so it's come out, and from sort of midway down, it's absolute perfection. The Rey, the Kylo, where they are, the stud, the lightning around them, the red and the blue, superb. I do not like their take of the Emperor over the top, and I know it's in the dark and just coming into view. A lot of people have said that it could be the Hot Toys version that they've used as a photograph, as a reference photo, and pulled them in from that. The eyes to me look like they've been drawn on a cartoon version. But apart from that, I love the poster, guys.
I think this is a D23 poster. Like, remember when they brought back Drew Struzan for D23 in 2015? Not to criticize, definitely wasn't on par with 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. It was very neat having him come back, do a new poster. I loved that. It was tradition, but it was the weakest of all the posters. I know it's an exclusive poster. This is my vibe for this poster. It's fine. The red, the blue, the ship, fine.
Yeah,
it looks very cartoonish. You could replace the Star Wars logo, and you think it's like, oh look, they're doing animated Episode 9. I'm sure we're going to get an official trailer, like the poster with the next trailer, as it always is. Trailer, poster, tickets, done.
No, I reckon post will be Force Friday in October.
It feels a little bit late, but I don't know. I mean, but then I say that, and it's September, and like,
and end of October is going to be tickets. I reckon they've always Monday Night Football's always been end of October, hasn't it, for the December releases.
Yes.
I guess we could say. Thanks, Solo. That was pretty fun last Christmas. I didn't watch that, sorry.
But yeah, so that is really the main bit of the news, to be honest, that we got this massive release for Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. But we did get other news at D23. We had a new trailer for The Mandalorian as well.
We had the first official trailer for The Mandalorian in terms of...
official trailer,
we've had a trailer come out...
Celebration
that was not released to the public. Yes, we've seen it because, well, we know we have our ways, but this is the first official...
Yeah, we had George.
We did indeed. But yes, we have had the very first official trailer, and the artwork as well, the first official poster for The Mandalorian. There, the Razor's Crest with moisture farm evaporators and, of course, sandcrawlers in the background. But, yeah, loving it. I'm absolutely loving the imagery of that.
Everything I've seen coming out of The Mandalorian makes me more and more excited for the show. If you weren't aware, I went on and did an instant reaction to Mandalorian trailer. It's on our channel. It's also... I didn't put the audio up, I don't think, because obviously it's more a visual thing. So if you want to go back on our YouTube channel, check that out. The full trailer's on there, and have a look and talk over some of the shots of that. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are as excited as I am by everything I've seen coming out of it.
I'm going to put it this way. My dad has not seen anything to do with this. He doesn't really know about it. He's like Star Wars, not as much as me, but he does like Star Wars. I showed him the trailer on my phone, and the first thing he said afterwards was, well, we're having this on the big TV, right? That's the first thing he said. That is how good this trailer was. From someone who's a casual fan, he just immediately was like, I'm hooked, I want it. So, as a hardcore fan, yeah, saw it, loved it. I mean, the opening shot where you have stormtroopers' helmets on pikes. How can that not excite you?
I don't know. It does to a point where I might explode if I don't get the show on November the 12th. I will.
That's what I said. My initial reaction to my parents was, "You can watch this at some point next year. I'm going to watch it in November."
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
everything that's an IG-11 droid, and they obviously brought out, and Taika Waititi confirmed that he is going to be the voice of IG-11 as well, which is another awesome move. Bringing on these amazing directors and great actors as well, who they're filling this show with. All the imagery we get, it looks like a movie, and that's not a slight on some of the TV stuff, but it looks really, really big budget expensive.
I love the shot of the chocolate brownie
Star Wars style. It really is. That's what it looks like to me. It's just that budget, that level of quality, that level of production.
I mean, something like The Mandalorian doesn't need 200 million. It's a series, it's a new character, it's a new era. This is our first piece of visual canon, I guess we could say, like, as in, not visual, sorry. What's the word? Video, I guess you could say, not including Resistance, but, you know, this is the first live action sort of thing between 6 and 7. Does Resistance count? It's the same as episode 7. The timeline equals and matches. This is our first thing post 6 in my eyes that's going to be big. And sort of after the Emperor, I know there's remnants of it left, but it is very exciting now. The trailer, the majority of that footage was at Celebration, so I mean, it looked bloody great. It looked brilliant. It was hard. I wasn't excited watching it then purely because I'd seen it, but for me, in April, that was me on another planet. I did not feel the same after that day. I tell you that. Everything they're doing, this is great. Disney's pure confidence in not just Mandalorian but Disney Plus as well, is sensational. I know they've screwed up the UK release date. They know that too, but it's going to happen. I think it's more of a case of they could release it on November the 12th. Brackets, they should. The issue is that I think the general public, they're not going to have the content. They're getting rid of all their old contracts. Blah blah blah. Politics. When this launches and whenever they've said Q1 2020, Star Wars Twitter said UK early 2020. I would imagine March at the absolute late. I know in Q3 is the end of March, but I could imagine it being after Oscar season, start by March, quiet month, get it out in England. I need to watch that Jeff Goldblum TV series too.
Yes, it looks like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, but also the best thing I've seen in my life.
It's An Idiot Abroad, but they've replaced Carl Pilkington with Jeff Goldblum. And you know what? It's probably going to actually be 10 times better than Idiot Abroad.
The problem they're going to have, though, is by the time it's released over here, everyone would have seen it in the UK.
I think the people that really, really want to see it will. Yeah. The people that don't know about it are going to get 8 episodes to binge in the start of next year. My only not worry, but still not chatting to my work, we were chatting about all, because I'm really looking forward to rewatching Clone Wars. I'm not watching it for the first time. I can't wait for Disney Plus to come out, and I was like, it's going to be like next year over here, not there. And he's like, oh, that's a shame. Although he owns them all, he's like, the lead up to 9 to have been able to have the app to go through the other 8 films to get Clone Wars going. So when it airs in February, I know we're jumping the barrel there. It's going to have that window where you kind of forget we can rewatch Clone Wars. It's going to be on there. So I'm excited to see Disney Plus as a concept, but to me, but not even the fact it's Star Wars, the fact that they picked a Star Wars production over a Marvel production to open up Disney Plus with, I think that as great as Marvel is, and as big as Endgame was, there's still only one real MVP in the world, and that will be Star Wars. This isn't going to make 2.9 billion overtake Avatar and Endgame. No, but we're absolutely right, mate. But Star Wars is Star Wars.
Star Wars indeed.
I mean, not like Kevin Smith tweeting like, "You're all excited for Endgame, so was I, but this is my 1977 journey coming to an end." I think this is going to hit people out of nowhere. I mean, they've hyped up this being the final saga film more than I thought they would.
Absolutely.
Shall we move on to the other big bit of news that we all knew was coming, but to have it officially confirmed?
Cassian Andor is filming in London.
That was what I was going to go with, yeah. But Kathleen Kennedy came on the stage and announced they weren't quite done. And then in one of the most biggest missed opportunities ever for an actor coming on stage to say 2 words and blow the house down, they'd made a skit they wanted to do. And I get it. Let's show who just walked on stage. Mr. Ewan McGregor walked out.
They should have been called by him. That's fine.
So, yeah, he came on the stage to ask Kathleen Kennedy, as he's been asked in a million other interviews, would you be playing ObiWan Kenobi again? Yes. Yes, he would. Oh, my word. The noise in that room was nowhere near as loud as in my living room when I heard it go off. It was just the bit of news we've absolutely been waiting for to be announced for, forever. It's been rumored so long, and we're finally getting Kenobi.
Wasn't it a shame that it leaked online the week before?
Yeah.
The variety of stuff,
was.
and yeah, it would have been nice for it just to happen at the event and be a complete.
And I think that's what they wanted.
Yeah. But I guess once everything gets sort of signed and sealed, that's when it goes out to places like Variety and Deadline. They all get the notification that that's going to be happening. They just can't.
There's an agent somewhere in the world, or someone close to someone, that's going to know that information.
Oh, yeah.
And you're right. It was the missed opportunity. I mean, it was still great. It was glorious.
I was expecting. Hello there.
We all were. We were all hoping.
That's what the world wanted. The thing is, they probably knew we wanted that. And let's hope, guys. Let's not rule anything out here. Let's hope at Star Wars Celebration next year, he should be there. Now, I know I'm jumping the gun again, but not with these crazy predictions. All the script has been written. Now, we all know this is blatantly the film. We knew what was going to happen. This has probably been stripped apart and expanded into a series. I'm going to bet on this being 6 episodes, not 8, like the Loki TV series. That's my early bet. But if this is going to start filming in 2020, they've said, is this going to film adjacently to Cassian? Could this film after Cassian be end of 2020? Because Marvel's doing like 8 TV shows at the same time or something ridiculous. And we know that Mandalorian shot at the same time as Episode 9, Mandalorian in America, and on at Timeless. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think? Because do you think there could be something at Celebration for Obi-Wan? I have a feeling there'd be at least a photo of him in costume. And
I don't. Yeah, I think it'll be they'll do Cassian, then they'll start shooting Obi-Wan. I think they'll stagger it in terms of. Unlike Marvel, where they can just pump it out. I think Kevin Feige, like has already said, we did too much too soon with Star Wars. They've got the films coming out at a slower pace now. I think with the TV shows, they may do something similar. Not as full on, but you may get Mandalorian, Cassian, Obi-Wan, Mandalorian season 2, Cassian season 2, Obi-Wan season 2. If they do multiple seasons, Obi-Wan, I reckon, could actually just be a one-shot series. 6 to 8 episodes, done. That's it. That's your lot. Nice, short, sweet, but something purely for the fans in this particular regard.
That's what I think. I don't imagine for the life of me seeing a Cassian or Obi-Wan season 2. As much as we'd like to see more Ewan, it's more of a case where we wanted to see him come back for that moment, for his return. Something like the Mandalorian, where it's new, it's a new era, something we don't know anything about. The fact they've already said they're writing season 2 is going to be very, very interesting. And I think that could be.
Well, the Mandalorian does have a lot more scope. It's a new character and a new place with a timeline where they've got a bunch of time between 6 and 7. In fact, it doesn't even have to cross over. It doesn't have to touch any other existing character. It can just be completely its own thing in its own region. You may see the First Order pop up. You may not. You never know. But they have scope there to do as much as they want. Cassian Andor has a finite.
We know K2 is going to be programmed in it, so we know it's probably near the end between.
Yeah, we've already had Cassian.
We know it can't be him.
In the comics, so you can't have that be in there either, which kind of sucks. Obi-Wan, I think, will be short, sweet, as I said, will be one kind of. There you go. That's your. What harks back for me? There was an interview a very long time ago on Top Gear, which was with Ewan after Episode 3 came out. And he was always saying how. He loved the originals. He would view the ones he did as the ones he did. He was always that kind of almost a negative reaction to it. I think this will bring him back full circle to loving Star Wars again. I think this will kind of give everyone that big old boost it needs.
I think that's finally already happened because he did that interview a couple of months ago, probably looking at 6 months ago to a year now, where he came out and said that, you know, George always described the prequels as something to which I didn't see. He says, now that generation has grown up, I've been able to now see his vision, now that audience has grown up with the time. Basically, kind of implementing, like, I know this wasn't the originals. He set out to make kids' films, which he did, and the people that respect them, because he said people would come up in the street to him and criticize the films, criticize everything. He said that's so much. He said it's so nice to see the people from the new generation coming in. We really love these. This is Star Wars to us, and you know, even my
the only thing that didn't age well from any of that, and the only thing that was out of George's vision that was poor for ObiWan Kenobi was that mullet. I mean, it's
the thing is, it just works for Attack of the Clones. Like, if you had Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan in 2 films, you'd be like, no. Attack of the Clones, you're kind of like, yeah,
that's you have to go through a mullet to get to where you need to be in life.
Attack of the Clones, though, it's like, would you really want him to have the perfect Obi-Wan Kenobi look for the unperfect?
No, but he could still have the short hair. You never know. But it's more of really the mullet. Of all things, he had to have a mullet. It personifies that film in a nutshell, though. It's just missed opportunities here and there, and all adding up to its course, it's rough, it's irritated, it gets everywhere.
I love that Ewan is back in Star Wars. He seems so happy to be back in Star Wars. The adulation he got on that stage. I think you will see a shot of him. Nothing maybe major, but I think you will see a shot of him in costume again as Obi-Wan. So the way his character, it might even be a shot of him, but definitely artwork showing this is the look we're going for Obi-Wan for this stage and this era. Yeah. We know from the timeline that was given to us at D23 as well. Excuse me.
I do think
it's going to fall between middle of Solo and after.
Yeah, so I do think the very first trailer will be released at Celebration next year.
I think
Cassian will have a second trailer and a release date. Obi-Wan will have a first trailer.
I mean, Celebration, it's a year today. A year today is day 2. I might be talking, and there might be an Obi-Wan Kenobi panel happening right now. Who knows?
Well, I don't want to know about it.
Don't worry, guys. You'll be watching it at home on a screen. I'll have to win a lottery again.
Yeah, George will be on
Twitter again,
shaking all kinds of hands, meeting all kinds of people, black market finding of who knows what kind of QR codes will be lying around, but getting into panels in some way or some form to see if this is an announcement. Because come hell or high water, I know you would be in there screaming.
I would find a way to be in there.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. I have no doubt about it.
As not Ewan McGregor once said, as Norman Osborn once says, no one says no to me. So you just like run through a stage at distance. I know.
Wow.
One final Kenobi question. This is something. Yes. I mean, this isn't really Kenobi. This is Celebration. We've got 4 days next year. There's an episode 5 anniversary panel we know is going to take place.
Yeah. Yep.
There is probably going to be a sequel trilogy looking back panel.
Yeah.
That leaves us 2 other days.
Empire.
I said that.
Yeah, first one, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear it properly. That was my,
I see not a Cassian panel. I see a Disney Plus panel, like what they just did.
Oh, 2 hours. Okay. I could see that.
Because I don't think, Cassie will be ready to go. But you've got 3 shows, and who knows in a year's time, there's also 2 sets of trilogies to talk about. So it could be very interesting. I know we say this every celebration.
Next year's celebration, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be there. Me and Phil
No, I was just going to say, it could be interesting. But then again, we said that this year that there's going to be a Mandalorian, there's going to be episode 9, there's going to be that. And oh no, it was the Galaxy's Edge. No one actually wanted. If you wanted to
celebration of the Phantom Menace. Oh, this is the worst panel I've ever been to in my life.
After that entire thing, like, come on, you, turn up. And then it got to like 50 minutes, and I was like, it's not happening. It's not happening. I was like, it was cool.
Dave and I were a little glad up going, well, at least we know George is just sitting there going, I regret this.
It was the fact that like I got into the small screening room, and then my friend texted me like, they didn't scan our QR codes. Would you like one? And I just got up and just ran. I mean, it was I don't know if you guys knew much about the layout. that main building, it was in another building. It wasn't like the XL where it was another floor at the bottom corner. You had to leave the building, cross a road, get into the next building, and I just flew. I did not stop running. And it was, honestly, the second half of that panel was probably one of the most disappointing panels of my life.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. But on this closing out D23 news, we did get a bunch of sort of other news. Like we mentioned Cassian. We mentioned that it's going to be filming early 2020 here in London. Here in London? I'm in Newcastle. That's like miles away, but in the
London
UK.
is closer for me than any of you guys, yeah.
It is, yeah. Also, we got news that Clone Wars will be out in February 2020 for that coming out. And again, I think it's been announced.
Now, I'm really hoping that will line up with the UK Disney Plus release date, just so that we have... That's our... Because The Mandalorian will be one of the US premiere shows. I reckon. I'm hoping Clone Wars will be the UK premiere show.
So yeah, that's going to be shooting 2020, and then with that as well, we got the announcement that, well, certainly for Mandalorian, probably Clone Wars, we're going to get these episodes. They're not going to get to binge them because they're coming on with weekly episodes. So we're going to get an episode a week for these. They're not just going to release them. Certainly, the Mandalorian is going to be a weekly thing.
Judging by my calculations, if they're going to stick to every Tuesday from Tuesday the 12th of November, it's going to have an episode on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. There we go.
That would be amazing. Christmas Eve would normally go out, but I would totally be staying in if the Mandalorian's on.
Just like downloading torrents, like Die Hard's on. I was like, not this year, Die Hard. Just like that'd be it's Pedro Pascal's time.
As long as it's a Christmas-themed episode that I'm in, totally Christmas-themed, even though they visit the holiday special.
No.
Oh, that's just the dream.
I mean, yeah, could you imagine if he uses the Boba Fett holiday special episode on the Christmas Eve episode?
Boba Fett not appearing has also been confirmed by Filoni.
Yes. Good. I hate this the cheek of people think, oh yeah, he's definitely going to be in this film. Like, no, he's not. A, it's not a film. B, he won't be in it. They've said he won't. To me, Mandalorian just disregards them ever needing to touch Boba Fett.
He's dead.
Let him die. Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. Oh look, he already died. He flew into a bloody wall.
He went out like
the impact of that would probably kill him alone, right?
If you read Aftermath, you'll find out what happens to him. Trust me.
Yeah, there's some fake armor.
Yeah.
And they also made Jar Jar Binks a laughing stock, which now looks bad because we all have Ahmed Best.
Yeah. I think that's why Ahmed Best came out. He saw that in the afternoon. He was like, "Oh, guys, come on, really?
Yeah, you are now a clown."
But our clown, and we love you. Thanks for coming back. So yes, we shall move on from that. We've got a little bit more news. The Rise of the Resistance trailer leaked online for Galaxy's Edge. Now, I have not seen this. Any of you guys had a chance to witness?
I haven't. So all I know is that there was a Disney Parks panel, and they showed like a minute and a half footage. I'm guessing. I don't really know. Is it a simulator ride? I don't really do theme parks, so I don't really know how it works.
It sounds like it's part simulator, that you're on some kind of, you are going through, but part of the way to describe it sounds like an escape room as well, that you're inside of
one of the acting type things.
Yeah, so you're in that, and I don't know if it's going to be that you're actually in, part of it's a ride, then part of it is like an escape room where you're going to find the clues to get out of the, I think that's, to me, that it might be totally wrong, but that's the way it comes across to me, the way they've described it. Is there I can see them doing it to be a big role play sort of adventure as well.
But it is a full-on Star Wars escape room when you have stormtroopers look at the door, go, open the blast doors, open the blast doors. That's all I needed.
I mean, they have said that this is their main ride. Like, they delayed it because they wanted to get it right. They didn't want to rush it. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure the Falcon's incredible, and I'm sure it will be. But this experience, Rise of the Resistance, was hyped more than the Falcon was. The best thing about the Falcon is the picture you're going to get outside of it. You know.
Yeah.
Without sounding rude, it's the not sitting in the cockpit doing a video. The Falcon is the experience of the whole thing, and if this is going to be part simulator, part whole sort of interaction, that's going to be perfect.
So yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a new thing. And it's nice they're going to have a second ride on there, because at the minute it is kind of a place to go shopping and then one Star Wars ride. And I think some of the complaints that people who aren't maybe majorly into Star Wars have found, that they're going to a lot of Star Wars shops and not much else to actually do there. And I think that's partially behind some of the complaints. But yes, we have that, and I mean, guess we'll now go on to one of our famous...
Go back to what George was saying, though. He doesn't do theme parks, therefore we don't have to worry about him going to Galaxy's Edge and ruining it for us, Dave, so it's fine.
It's not a theme park, though, is it? It's another planet.
It's an experience. But
why would you want to do a theme park when you can go on a cruise, a Star Wars cruise, that doesn't actually go in water or go to space, but it pays the same price as going...
I was going to say, coming out, one of the most famous rants about price of stuff, and that is exactly what George said, trying to allude to, that we are now getting
a Star Trek-looking ship, which is a hoop. Now, so for those that don't know,
sorry, go on. Go on.
I was going to say this is the Star Wars hotel, the Star Wars cruise. It's now called the Halcyon. There's probably going to be like 10 books about it given to a reception. You'd expect it to, the price you're going to pay to go there. I don't know how they're building this. Is it going to be like, I mean, they're building, if anyone's looking at the screen, you can see that at D23, they raised the scale of it. There's the Millennium Falcon you can see. There's the size of this ship. It's basically a cruise. It's going to be parked in Florida. I would love to see an airplane fly over the top of it just to see the sheer scale if they're not lying to us. The prices kind of leaked online last week, which definitely did not help their case. You're not allowed to book a one-night stay. You have to book a minimum of 3. I'm guessing it'll be like 3 or 5 or 7, like a cruise. And we know through, obviously, over the years of hype that every single staff member is going to be in character. It's all going to be serving Star Wars food. It's all Star Wars this, Star Wars that. It's an experience. It's them on the cruise doing Star Wars things with you, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the good stuff. You want to go by yourself because they know that people definitely can't afford to go as groups or as family. You're looking at around about £3,300 for 3 nights, not including your flights to and from America, obviously. Let's say $5,000. There's probably a shop there, $6,000. Disney food price is $7,000. Now, if you want to go as a group, which has to be a group of 5 or more, you'll get a cabin to yourselves. It will then work out at £1,700 for 3 nights, plus everything else. So, and you know what's going to happen, don't you? They're just going to be full of blokes online, like creating groups like "Who wants to share a room?"
Be like Craigslist for Star Wars, and that's not a good thing if no one knows.
It's Craigslist now. Done.
Craigslist is an excellent title. It's a great joke, and I wish I thought of myself. I'm really upset that I didn't.
Idea for our next this video titled Craigslist.
I am not taking part in that one, my friend. Would like to meet? No, I would not. Four-armed man. No, Dexter Jester. So yes, this is crazy to me anyway. It's already expensive enough to get a family over to Disney to go and experience the whole thing. You know what, for your flights and things, you can probably find decent deals, but getting to the parks, the money is huge. To now bring out something that people are going to want to visit, the Star Wars fans would want to stay in a room of one of these, is just, the money is astronomical. I just can't understand. I mean, yes, they're trying to pay for it. I just can't understand how this is what they could look at as their pricing scale. It is beyond.
I mean, the advert will read, the experience is out of this world and so are the prices.
Unreal.
It's going to be like a more futuristic version of the blockade run if you look at it in terms of the actual.
It reminds me of Space Titanic from a Doctor Who Christmas special.
Yeah, actually, yes, you're not far off.
It's not going to go to space. Imagine being the staff. You're going to have to like slave on a cruise ship, which actually doesn't dock because you're actually in Disneyland still. Like you're gonna be there for like
windows. You're gonna have windows. It's all TV screens because you're gonna see space and things outside.
You're gonna be there for like 5 days. You're gonna open the door and it's like a Disney castle. You're like, where am I? You're like the end of like Thor Ragnarok when Jeff Goldblum like wakes up on the other planet. Yeah. Here we go. Jeff Goldblum, Disney Plus Season 2. Just put him in Galaxy's Edge.
Like by himself. Nobody else around. Except maybe a T-Rex. It would just be I just don't understand. It's well, I can't even talk about it. I'm so annoyed by them bringing this exclusive thing that in my wildest dreams I could never get into, because who can afford that much to... They did even one night stay for, like, you can do one night stay if you're coming just to the park, and you can do a cheap... They'll have some cheap rooms down at the bottom that, you know, like a torpedo chute you can lie in or something, and you can go in there, be frozen in carbonite, so you just lie like this all night with your arms up. That would be fine. Just put me in the cupboard somewhere. But yeah, I can't see how this works at all with that sort of price.
No, it is just...
If I won the lottery, I'd go, but you know, life is going to get in the way. I mean, it's lucky enough that people are going to be able to afford like Galaxy's Edge once, let alone something like this. Even like regular Americans will finally struggle to go on holiday in their own country. Not that I'm sounding really rude, but like they sit there bragging about how we do Disneyland all the time. They're like, go on, mates, go to the cruise ship then. So, and you know, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't think you'll find it's going to be a lot harder to market that as well compared to something else. Just the sheer amount of money that's going to be in there. It's going to be like, you know, how Galaxy says there's a 25 grand R2D2, where it's cheaper to make your own.
Yeah,
the rich people have been buying them. They've been putting orders in, and they'll be. If you can spend 25 grand on something worth like 4, you can definitely
afford a room to stay at this hotel.
Yeah.
It'd just be nice to be able to see it, even if they give you, can I just have a day pass wristband, please? So I can go in. That would be lovely. Just look around. Let's get a press pass, guys. Let's get a press pass.
You know they would.
Yeah,
so yes, can I use the? You like to use the toilet? Sure, it's $100. $100 just in the toilet.
I'm missing for a week. No one would ever find you. It'd be fine.
Wouldn't it be great if they're like mouse droids in every toilet?
I'm not sure I'd be comfortable with that.
But point.
Please wipe that up. And yeah, I think that was done with sort of the D23 side of things.
Indeed. Shall we move off of our favourite subject? It was a rant, and continue on with Galaxy's Edge. With the fact that it's opening tomorrow at Disney World in Orlando.
Yeah, it's got a very interesting launch because they kind of can't hide the park up because there's one on the other side of the country. I feel sorry for everyone that bought like Disneyland tickets like 2 years ago for August and missed it by like a day. I kind of feel sorry for them too. But there's a couple of things that comes with this. Obviously, when it opens tomorrow, they're not doing the whole wristband reservation system for the first couple of months. They are going to do what Disneyland does now, which is just a plain and simple virtual queue system. If it's full, you go on the app, they put you in the group, you'll get a notification when you can go in. Apparently it's worked perfect since it's been live. And apparently now there's a big trend of people going in the evening because they reckon that the park is really nice in the evening. It's a lot quieter. So that's kind of been there. But one of the big talking points from all of this, the Coca-Cola inspired thermal detonator bottles have been banned on American Airlines now because some idiot decided to tweet the American airline, "Hi, if I buy this plastic bottle, will it be confiscated from me at the airport due to it looking like a grenade?" Of course, the American Airlines tweeted, "Yes, it will be banned." Because now, not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, if they turned around and said, "Yes, if I was a terrorist, I would definitely go to Galaxy's Edge and buy a couple of those bottles," because when you go through the airport scanners, you'll be like, "No, mate, it's just Coca-Cola." Of course they're going to ban them. Now he's ruined it for everyone else.
Why are you trying to take it home? Because this bottle cost me 15 quid.
But it's the case, like, now, it was bad enough smuggling rocks off Luke Skywalker's island. How
never happened.
It's on video, mate. Like, they can arrest me. It's been 3 years. How am I meant to smuggle bloody plastic bottles?
You're literally going to have to...
You take the lid off. It's the easiest thing I've
No, because there's still like grenades.
Design. Because it's thermal detonated sort of thing. But yeah, you're literally, if you go to get one of these, like I said to George, one of my message earlier, that you're either going to have to literally post it back to yourself or throw it really, really hard.
Just post it.
No, because then it'll get lost in the post, and then you.
I'm going
to buy loads and start dealing them out across the world.
Put your address on a bit of paper, seal it up inside, go in the ocean, and eventually it might get back to you.
Here you go. You can imagine now, like you touch down England. Oh, here we go. We made it. And then at border control, they're like, show us the suitcase.
just
And then,
bottles, just bottles upon bottles.
I mean, I've been very lucky that I've had something delivered for me from D23, which is going to arrive in the next couple of days, which I will reveal to you all soon. But the grenade theory is ridiculous. The guy that ruined it for the rest Disney are probably thinking there now as well that are we going to have to redesign? Like,
it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, they'll be like, well, we got the 1 year thermal detonators. Year 2, they're going to probably introduce like another weapon.
Something else. You now drink out this lightsaber hilt.
They've said the Americans said they're fine with lightsabers being on flights, though. You know, whether you could get the battery in and just smack someone with it. If you've designed it where there's little like Obi-Wan's episode 1 lightsaber at the bottom that's got the little spikes. You know, you could get the battery in and do some real damage if your lightsaber's like that. But no, it's fine to have a lightsaber, not a plastic bottle. Then again, America doesn't believe in global warming, so.
We've also got some other stuff coming out of Galaxy's Edge, and that is that the Galaxy's Edge Cantina playlist is now live on Spotify. That's right.
It's that same
playlist
song.
number 1.
Play that same song.
I've not listened to it, but it could well be. But yeah, if you want to, Spotify, you're not checking out Ones of the Force of Star Wars podcast first, then yeah, absolutely. Go and check out Rex's playlist number 1.
Well, I have to say, on our own self-promotion terms, I did actually listen back to our list video on Spotify when I was in Poland, packing up all my stuff. Severely hungover, it must be said. But the quality was good. I am liking our new software, our new everything.
Can I just say about that? I was checking out our stats for our listeners over the last few days, and I thought, oh, look at that, we've got new listeners in Poland. No, it was Phil.
Yep.
Indeed, I'm really excited for a second, like, oh, listeners in Poland, and there is. Oh, that was Phil. So yeah, it flashed up that we'd had a listener in Poland. I was like, oh, okay. But for a second, I was really excited about our expansion and growth. Do you have a listener in New Zealand? So whoever you are, thank you so much.
But anyway, continue back onto it. Yes, so the complete set has been released on Spotify. I'll probably give it a listen actually just to see what it's like. But if it's not that on repeat, I will be slightly just disappointed. Like there's a small part of me that just dies, but no, I'm sure it'll be very good. Can we get back onto our usual rant of a autograph?
A rant? What? No, this isn't that bad.
No, this is actually fine. I like it. Really joke.
Clint Howard, the brother of Ron Howard, who cameos in I think like all of his films or something. He is done a signing authentics because he had a cameo in Solo. I got a really bizarre email that that's for saying Clint Howard autographs, no online. Obviously, what Star Wars Authentics is like anything to add an extra 0 on the end of it. But they're only $50, and they apparently almost all sold out. So I'm guessing it's one of his first ever signings, maybe. But if you're into your autographs, there's one to get there. Can't imagine him signing at Celebration. I'd like his brother to go though. That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
that's probably why he's signed because they just asked him like. One of the best convention moments ever was it was a terrible event because they just did Dr. Ernie, but at Showmasters London Film last year, they couldn't get David Tennant. That's the one they really wanted. So what they did, they then got his father-in-law in, announced on the Wednesday, was there like got him at the convention, then hassled him to get David Tennant to go, who was announced like the day before he ended up going, and it was pretty obvious that was their tactic all along.
Crazy. But if you're like Clint, if you want to come along, we're having a family day, however. So if you want to bring anybody with you,
bring Bryce, she can go on the Mandalorian poster.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go, mate. It's a Howard day out. Hey, what have they announced Solo 2 next year on Howard Day? Even more of a reason to go.
Oh, make Solo 2 happen, ladies and gentlemen. Make Solo 2 happen.
Hashtag on TV.
It will be. Well, to be fair, there are rumours that Donald Glover has been approached to reprise his role as Lando in a Disney Plus TV show. Now, those are just rumours. They are very light rumours. However, we would all love that. If that was to happen, we would all approve in an instant. Yes, give me more Lando.
Oh, anytime, any day. If Donald Glover's sitting in a street humming, I will go and watch it. If he's dressed up as Lando doing it, I'm there even quicker. The man was brilliant in that movie, and I'd love to see George and I discuss this in our list show, which is available on all your good podcasting apps and YouTube. That Donald Glover reprising his role in Solo 2, but as a series on Disney Plus. Bring it on.
Indeed. However, though, we might as well continue on our vein of talking about prices. Sam Jackson's lightsaber prop is now going on auction in September. It's supposed to reach the smooth price of $100,000.
I really hope Sam Jackson buys this, because I know he has the other lightsaber that George. Obviously, for people that don't know, they make probably, I'm guessing, like 5 or 6 lightsabers per character per film.
Yeah.
This is another. I mean, we know Sam Jackson owns a prop. He gave it to Brie last on set on May the 4th on Captain Marvel. I just hope Sam Jackson just keeps buying them all. He's just got like his own like personal collection of like lightsabers with Bad MF engraved on it in Aurebesh.
That would just be. It's great that these props still come to light, and to be honest, I don't know if it'll reach the $100,000 they're hoping for.
If you spend $100,000 on a lightsaber, it probably wouldn't be his.
No, it would probably be Anakin's or Luke's.
You're looking at an original trilogy, yeah. You're looking at Obi-Wan's maybe, or a Luke's original, or a Vader original. But yeah, it seems steep to me. But you know what? Hey, there are people out there who can afford to have these props in their life, and more power to them. If I was one of them, I'd be at the auction too. But unfortunately, not. So I will look on from a distance.
Here you go. You can either afford a week on the new hotel, or a
lightsaber. You can have one bid on this lightsaber, or stay in a hotel for 2 nights, and we're going to kick you out after that. Literally 10 o'clock, get out.
And then Disney would outbid you for the lightsabers. You have to give them the money for the hotel.
They really would. And while we're sticking on, we weren't talking about it at all, but we are going to move on to actually back to The Mandalorian, as we've had 2 new cast members announced.
Yes, so Natalie Tanner, who you may know as Tonks from Harry Potter, and she's in Game of Thrones. I always forget her character's name in it. She is playing the purple Twi'lek in The Mandalorian. She announced it on her Twitter. There's no name for her yet. Fair play to her for announcing that quickly. And then we also have Ming-Na Wen joining The Mandalorian. This was big news to me because I was wondering, why is she a Disney legend? She was only in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Didn't know she was the voice of Mulan, so that's on me. But I guess it's keeping it in the Disney family, when they get these people back coming in for more and more. I'm intrigued to see if there'll be like one episode supporting characters, whatnot. But again, the more you forget Mandalorian, there's a whole cast for a series that we don't know about too.
I've read a rumor Ahsoka's been pushed at her, and I would not be too disappointed if she was the person behind Ahsoka.
It'd be very interesting if they did that too. The problem with Ahsoka is that Ashley Eckstein is inherently
Ahsoka. Yeah, I'm sorry, I completely.
Although Ashley Eckstein visually, I couldn't see playing her on film. If they ever did her on film, would they dub them over? It'd be such a very weird take.
It's one of those things that when it comes to certain animation characters, I don't really want anyone else. It works one way when you have a live action character being turned into a animated character. Doesn't have to have the voice be done by that original character, but going the other way, I'm just not quite sure. I'm not quite convinced.
I probably won't be, but it would be nice for her to show up live action at some point in this. Now we've got Disney Plus. D23, we haven't got that anymore, that's gone. Disney Plus is absolutely crying out. An Ahsoka TV show would be just on another plane of awesomeness.
Resistance has only got one more season to go. We'll have one series of Clone Wars. The animated series will be open. There will be a slot there.
I'm sure they're already probably cooking something up. I've got no doubt, Phil. I'm sure if they're animated.
No doubt. It's already in pre-production, but whatever it is.
And yeah, for that, we are through the news. There's not, to be honest, other than the D23, there wasn't a lot of news out there. We are going to move on to Toy Shelf. And this one, because this is something you are desperate for.
Well, the Hondo Anaka pop is going to be available Thursday 29th at Disney World. Yeah, George, you're going to have to bring back one of these when you go out to Galaxy's Edge, purely because it's Hondo Anaka. I'm annoyed they have him. He's one of my favorite characters from both Clone Wars and Rebels, and yet you can only get him at Disney, and it makes me very, very sad.
I'm sure there'll be ways to buy him online at ludicrous fees. I'll tell you what I'll do, though. I'll give you a trade deal.
Yeah.
If you let
Welcome
me
to
take
George
Hondo,
Bay. You can order.
if you let me take the Hondo out of the box, I'll put the Coca-Cola in the plastic so that it's in a pop box. They'll never know it was, security will come through and they'll be like, oh, it's showing the back, it's just a pop. And on the other side is the Coca-Cola. There we go.
I'm sure we can have some sort of
You
arrangement.
can have him out of the box.
Yeah.
And you just hear like
Never
Dave
have
getting angry.
Yeah.
No,
So,
it is a cool. The Hondo Pop is really a really cool one, and with my pop collection growing, it is one I'd quite like that as well. These Disney Pop exclusives would be nice to have, but I'm not going to pay eBay prices to get them.
No, just get someone that it's going there, and they might do it for a bit of commission. You never know.
Absolutely, I think that is absolutely fair. I'm going to make sure you not maybe ask George because he will not price up. And my boss from work's going to ask her; she'll be much fairer. Talking about expensive toys, we're going to move on to the new release from Hot Toys as well. We are getting Endor Princess Leia.
It looks incredible, as Hot Toys always do. We should have a script at this point. Hot Toys, they look great. If we could afford one, would this be the one you would buy?
No.
Not for me.
But it looks bloody incredible.
It looks amazing.
I don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be disappointed if I owned one, but it's not the one I would go out and buy. However, yeah, it does look fantastic.
Oh, it's all the
I
episode 3 one for me is my hot toy of choice.
Every year I say if I could get one, it changes every year. Last year it was Anakin, the year before it was Episode 6 Luke. This year it'd be one. You could get a Kylo Ren.
I know.
I'm guessing. I reckon these are probably lightsabers. I think once you get one, you probably can't stop.
Yeah, they'd probably take over this. That would be your main point of collection if you started on these. That you'd maybe think, you know what, I can't afford anything else.
Well, it used to be the case for Pringles. Used to be once you pop the Fundo stop. I think that was that should be Funko's line. Once you pop the Fundo stop. But again, yeah, Hot Toys. Again, if it was the one who I'd buy, no. However, it does look incredible. The paintwork on the face, especially, does look. It actually makes the rest of it look bad, if you know what I mean. Like the detail on the face, the actual painting is so good that you notice the hand kind of without the nails being done, the wrist. You know what I mean? It's so good. The rest of it just makes everything else kind of detract from it.
But the one thing that is cool about this, you can also move on from just having Leia. You can actually move the set to a twofer. You can get Princess Leia and Wicket. I believe the price of that is. Oh, let me have a check. So it was $420 for this bundle.
If you buy a bundle, guess how many dollars you save from buying them individually? This is not a joke.
What's the difference?
Go on, both have a wild guess.
Okay, so if it's $420 for the set, I'm going because Wicket's not very big. Sorry, Warwick. I'm gonna say it's $300 for just Leia, and surely Wicket can't be.
I'm gonna put it straight. I'm gonna say you say $30. I'm gonna say it's going from $450 to $420.
Phil? Sorry, Dave.
Then I'm gonna say I'm gonna guess we're dropping down from $420 to for just Leia, yeah, down to $300. I'm going $120 saving. You
save an almighty $8.
No way.
Leia is 220. Wicket is 208.
Oh my word!
He's like, they did this with Guardians of the Galaxy. The group was like the same price as Rocket, and it's like 3 times the size.
That's insane.
Like, I know you get his little pocket spear, but I saw that. I was like, oh, a bundle, they say. It's like 420. Like, Christ Almighty! At least give us an Anakin and Obi-Wan bundle.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely crazy. I mean,
really will cost you an arm and a leg, though.
Pulled one off, literally. Like, yeah, I'm not having that. So moving on from that, we have also coming out in the UK on the 4th of September is the Black Series Sith Stormtrooper, coming out in regular packaging, not the packaging that was from Comic-Con.
Yeah, we reported that on that last week.
Last episode, but we'll just show him again, and there's lovely that box there. If you are into your Black Series, which a lot of you are still, then he is coming out for you to own, and maybe army build with them as well, because who knows how we're going to get in the movie. And that really, again, Toy Shelf is done and dusted. There's not a great deal happening. We've got Triple Force Friday just around the corner, and Toy Shelf will probably be an episode to itself when that happens, because it's going to be everything. So we are going to move on to Star Wars, and Phil, I guess you can round out that story for us there.
Sadly, yes, I can. Sadly, Star Wars, the actual just Star Wars run itself, they do many runs all over the shop. The actual main Star Wars line is coming to an end in November with issue number 75, which makes me very sad indeed. The run's been going since 2015, since Marvel since Star Wars came back, and since Marvel have been doing them. It's the longest running one to date. Other ones in that line, you got Poe was 31, Vader, first one was 25, second one 25. You've had other issues and other things going on. Again, Alpha's 42 and counting. But yes, this will end at issue number 75 in November. It does make me very sad. However, what that does make me feel is, because that's set primarily around the original trilogy era, so it's going to be the Age of Rebellion, they're going to move on to either Age of Republic or Age of Resistance in terms of, yes, I know they've got the Age of series going at the moment, which is specifically set around that, but I reckon they'll move the main storyline onto a different era, and it will start up again probably around about next year, January, February, I want to say. But however, yeah, sadly, the main storyline is coming to an end. We also do have Fallen Order coming out. I think the first issue is due out this week or next week. So again, look for that coming out soon. The game coming out later on this year.
Excellent. And then really we move into our final piece of news for this episode, and that is moving into games. And really this is just more Battlefront 2, and the roadmap that would be given has now been kind of filled out a little bit more. Phil and I touched on it last time that we'd had some information, but then new information came to light in that as well. Can't really see on the screen I have put up, but it has got some new pieces. And I think one of the major points is the return of the Republic Commando troopers.
Yeah, they're bringing their return back from, was it the Clone Commando game? And even that photo there looks a spitting image of said game. Classic PS2 one there. So they're getting released in September. And then in December, they've kind of teased that there's going to be Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker contents. They kind of unconfirmed, announced unofficially that there will be new appearances, I'm guessing, for Rey and Kylo as usual. I'm hoping that we can have some new characters or maybe a new planet or something. I'd love to see older Luke. I don't know what they're planning, but
it was something to do with the Star Destroyers and the...
Yeah, Ben Walk, who is like their community guy, he said you're all going to be excited for it no matter what. So I'm excited. I'm intrigued to see what they do, and I just hope that they keep that game going. I reckon it could be the final big update, or maybe Clone Wars in February might get something. But I think Battlefront 2's probably got 2 big updates left in it itself, as in like big ones like Skywalker level, before they probably get a Battlefront 3 officially gone and dusted.
Yeah, and they also, because they have announced there's going to be some more single play mode added to the game as well. So again, for myself as a not online player,
it's become quite a while.
Yeah, it's something they should have had some of the levels for by now. You're right, Phil, absolutely. But I'm excited that we're going to get something of that. And that kind of rounds out our news. Sorry to any American listeners, that my accent was terrible, but it rounds out our news for today. Phil, don't shake your head at me. It's really upsetting. And yeah, that is kind of us done with the show. Really more to kind of anything we're going to go over is a bit of housekeeping, really. What we're going to be looking at doing is sort of streamlining the show, but kind of giving you more content as well at the same time. So our shows, we kind of don't normally set a time limit on. We just go on and we speak about whatever's there until it's done. But to be honest, I've been looking over stats online because I check out all the audio stats that we get back. And it's nice. It looks that some of the shows, obviously the longer ones, the drop off is quite big on those shows. So what we're looking to do on our regular Wednesday and Sunday shows, we will limit those to an hour. So we're going to look at an hour. We're going to get closed out that. If we hit an hour, we'll make sure we close out from that point. So we're going to keep that sort of tight. With a lot of other podcasts, you do find an hour is sort of the longest show they'll do. We have special episodes, like obviously we've got Rise of Skywalker coming out. We're doing specials for that. They go long, great. The longer, the better. Bring them all on. What that does mean is, in the meantime, when we get new TV shows coming out, Resistance Series 2, for instance, will be coming out. We won't be having that, a Resistance Roundup, in the actual stand episode. What we're going to be doing, standalone episodes. So I'm guessing for this, certainly won't be George. So Phil and I will be going through as an episode releases. Phil and I will do a whole episode on that episode that's come out. We'll talk right through. We'll talk the far end of everything we can about that Resistance episode and go right through it. So we'll have a series on that. When Mandalorian hits, we'll do the same. An episode comes out, we'll come on, we'll do a whole episode about that episode of Mandalorian. So we'll have a brand new series of us talking for whatever series comes out, Clone Wars as well. And I think what we might try and do in the build-up to Clone Wars restarting in February, maybe go back and look at certain episodes through each of the seasons. So we've got kind of a story build to then release in February up as well. So yeah, it's streamlining certainly, but really just to kind of make the content a bit more palatable for everybody, an hour slot. And to be honest, it makes it easier for our time as well. We know we're going to go for an hour, obviously a bit of prep before the show, but it's a bit better for our lives as well. So there'll be actually more shows coming out. We'll have our Wednesday normal show, our Sunday list show, and then we'll be having our TV shows. And I'm guessing if anything else comes out major, again, like the Mandalorian trailer did, we'll jump on and we'll do breakdowns for thing like that. Probably get Phil to look at doing something alongside of the comics and the books, because obviously that is where Phil has that real big knowledge of all that, where George and I go, books, comics, lovely, and don't have much knowledge on it at all.
Yeah, and I can, for those of you who are on our visual medium, just as an example, the latest stat showed up this morning, and that's kind of like, that's my latest batch to kind of get through.
So yeah, Phil's a reader. George and I are more visual because we're awesome that way. So yeah, we're going to try and break this down a bit more, but I say it'll be more content, more shows, and that is something we're really looking forward to getting more content out to you guys. Our following is growing. It's really nice to see on the stats certainly on the audio side. Every episode is getting a bit bigger and a bit bigger, more people listening, more downloads. So it's really pleasing that's happening. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming on board and being part of the channel. It is starting to kind of grow the way we want it to. So yeah, just really thankful for that. But yeah, there's more to come. We're going to have more shows and a better time, I think, of it all. So yeah, that's my little roundup and housekeeping all done. Anything else from you guys?
George?
Make sure we check out our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of them, all the social medias, Podbean, Spotify. I keep going. Is there more?
Come on, Phil. Do your outro, Phil. Rock the outro since George and I can't.
I was waiting for anything else, George, or are you all done?
Huh?
No?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
All good. Okay. Well, yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can find us, find the audio later on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes and Spotify. The video will of course be here live on YouTube. We're live every other week. We have our list videos now coming to you every other Sunday as well. We will keep you updated with any other shows. Don't forget to check the link in the description below for our Teespring shop. We've just added 2 new t-shirts designs as well, which I think we talked about in our last show, not quite sure, but you can find the link down below. We've been one to the Force. May the Force always be with you. Good night.